Hello, welcome to another episode of NouTalks podcast. Today, we're going to talk about Arab TV shows. Listen, I think the last time I watched an Arab TV show, I think it was on NBC, and it was probably 10 years ago or more. I'm not so sure. Maybe it was not even an Arab TV show, it was just translated. Maybe it was like a Turkish TV show that was translated in Arabic, probably one of those Muhannad TV shows, okay? Don't judge me. It was an era, we all loved it. Now, I haven't watched, I think, a full Arab TV show since then because of different reasons. As I grew older, I just stopped watching a lot of Arab TV, and I feel like because it was not relevant or relatable to my lifestyle anymore or who I was as I grew older, and maybe it was just not about topics nor about vibes that spoke to me. I feel like they've been talking about the same topics with the same actors, with the same quality of acting and actors and production that I've been seeing since the year 2000. There, I said it. I haven't related to it for so long. Maybe these media production houses are putting out there what sells for the mass market and maybe for an older generation. But the more they're moving in time, the more they're losing a new, younger audience. Personally, I'm just, kind of frustrated and sad at the same time that we're not able to find content. Maybe I am not able to find content that I relate to. And now that I found a show that I really loved and that spoke to me, just literally, I watched one show and I'm making a podcast episode about it, just shows you how much I'm craving content that represents me and represents my generation, represents my region in 2023. This past Ramadan, I've actually binge watched an Arab TV show, and it took me off guard. It was recommended to me by my cousins this Ramadan. I've watched it every day, binge watched the last 5 episodes. I have so much to tell you about it because it kind of made me want to watch Arab TV again. And I'm pretty sure some of you have lost touch with Arab TV, and maybe this is your sign to get back out there because the scene has changed and it has improved so much, and I feel like I relate to it more now than ever. So let's get to it. The TV show that I want to tell you about, without further ado, it's called Harsha El Sab'a. It's on Shahid.net and NBC. So Shahid.net is the streaming platform of NBC Group. I've watched this on this platform thanks to one of my friends that gave me the password. I do not have a subscription yet. I'm telling you this because he's been bugging me about this all Ramadan because he gave me the password. We all know that friend, okay? So, Harsha El Sab'a, for those who do not speak Arabic, means the seventh year itch. I've Googled this and I'm looking at my iPad. I've actually written things here so I do not forget them. I've Googled this because I did not know what it meant. So, Harsha El Sab'a means the seventh year itch, and the seventh year itch basically is a universal concept that a lot of people believe in. It's a belief, if you will, that after 7 years of marriage or long term relationships, the happiness of the couple declines. The problems start there, the divorces start, etc. And this is a common belief, I think, in a lot of Western countries and maybe Arab, I'm not so sure. I know for sure that I heard of it from maybe an American movie, not so sure though. But it means Harsha El Sab'a in Arabic, and I know that in France because I've been talking about this show with one of my French colleagues and I told them about it, and they were like, oh, that's so funny because they have a saying in France, which is l'amour dure 3 ans, which translates to love lasts 3 years. Maybe the French are pessimistic. I don't know. In any case, the Seventh Year Itch, Al Harsha El Sab'a TV show, was streaming on Shahid. It was only streaming for half of Ramadan because I think they've done 15 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. And it's directed by Karim El Shanawi and written by screenwriter Mariam Naoum. I do not know a lot of producers, to be completely honest, and screenwriters, so I'm discovering that now because I've done some research. And what I wanted to explain to you through this episode, I'm not going to tell you the plot. This is going to be a spoil-free episode. Don't worry, I hate spoilers. What I want to tell you through this episode is why I love this TV show so much, and also the things that I feel have been missing in Arab TV that this TV show has brought back and that really, really caught my attention. If you have watched this TV show before and you hated it, stick around. Maybe you'll change your mind. If you've never heard of this TV show before, or you've heard of it but you've never seen it, this episode is your sign to go and watch it. Totally worth it. Stick around, okay? What we're going to start with is the plot. Of course, as I said, spoiler free, but I want to tell you what it is about first from the official website. What they say is, on their 7th year of marriage, high school sweethearts Adam and Nadine begin experiencing fatigue, boredom, and the pressure of raising twins. Will their love survive? This is basically the overall plot. It's about relationships. It follows the story of, honestly, not just one couple, but two at the same time. And those two are basically a group of friends. They're a group of friends and they have different relationships with each other, with their parents, with their friends, with their families, etc. And this show follows everything surrounding relationships through a long timeline. So it's very interesting in that sense. Do not think of this as one of those romantic dramas, not at all. It's more than that. And I'm going to dig deep into why it is very different than the usual drama that we watch on TV. Now, the first thing I want to start with, that is, if you know me, you know I am obsessed with aesthetics. I talk about aesthetics all the time. For me, I need a TV show to be visually pleasing. I love to see beautiful things. It's normal, it's human, universal. And this TV show delivered in terms of beauty, aesthetic, creative production. I felt like the shots were taken in the most beautiful way. This TV show is so 2023 in terms of vibe, in terms of filming. I felt like the creative direction was very artsy. And I do love artistic TV shows with very beautiful color schemes, with point of views of filming that focus on emotion, not just the action. Because I feel like a lot of Arab shows focus more on the actions and just, it's very fast or it's too dramatic. It focuses on slow motion too much or just, what's happening, who's talking, etc. In artistic TV shows or artistic movies, we focus more on capturing the moment, the environment, capturing the expressions, the emotion. And for me, that is what I would call a beautiful film. And this show has delivered 1,000%. There's one producer that I love in the Arab world. It's Nadine Labaki. I'm pretty sure you know her. She's a Lebanese actress and producer, screenwriter. She does it all. She's amazing. And she has the most beautiful, visually pleasing films. And this is as close to that in terms of aesthetics. I love how it's shot. It's super descriptive. It doesn't, go really, really fast like those action movies where the camera is all over the place. Not at all. It's super descriptive. And this is so important in this TV show because it's about life, This is a show that tells you the story of a life. They actually focus on the scenes, the descriptions. It's very slow motion when necessary. And that actually takes me to my second point, which is the narration. The narration of this film goes very fast in time. They start at, I think, the year 2020, and then they move very fast in time. They fast forward every 3 months, 6 months, depending on the kind of content they want to show you or the time of these people's lives they want to show you. And I love that. It's not boring at all. It's not too fast. And I love that about it. It's very Gen Z. Another thing about this narration that I felt like it was one of a kind is, as I told you, it's the descriptive moments that are super necessary sometimes in movies. And for example, I'm such a fan of Studio Ghibli animated movies. I'm not sure if all of you love them because they're very, very descriptive. They're very slow motion. You'll have like moments where they give you time to grasp the environment of the film, to understand the timeline, to feel the emotions. And honestly, I personally feel like the strongest moments in cinema are the ones where there's no speech involved, just the emotions, the music. And usually those are, they transmit the deepest emotions and the strongest messages. And this film has done that beautifully. Now, let's talk about the plot. This TV show is basically about relationships and everything surrounding them. And it does follow two main couples. One of them are newlyweds and others are in long-term relationships. It's basically the dynamic surrounding that couple. What I feel like it's so interesting in this show is that they do not only focus on marriage as the main relationship in the storyline. Not at all. I feel like they really give you a very interesting, I'm not going to say modern, but up to date point of view of very different relationships in the Arab world. It really spoke to me because for once I felt like I could relate to it in a certain extent. Because do you know how we always watch a lot of foreign TV series and movies about relationships, about drama, a lot of things. And they do speak to us and we kind of relate to them, but not really. I feel like every time we hear something in our mother language, it hits different. I know I feel that way whenever I watch a movie, a TV show, I listen to a song, I read a book in Arabic. It just hits different. Maybe because, it's our native language, and also because everything about that universe is more relevant and represents our real identity. That's why representation is important. But that's not the subject of today. The subject of today is this TV show that I felt like was so realistic in terms of representation. And also, I felt like it was up to date with the current lifestyle of a lot of people in the Arab world. It did talk about these different topics surrounding relationships, parenthood, couples, marriage, children, colleagues, etc. But it also really dug deep into topics that we do not talk enough about in our region. For example, mental health. You all know it. It's not talked about enough. Mental health, divorce, verbal abuse, even, outside marriage relationships. There's a lot of topics. I don't want to spoil you, But this is key, I feel like, in cinema today. We need more representation. We need more realistic representation, and also one that's well narrated. Okay, I have two last things to add up to this. We must talk about the cast, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I have to admit something. I had a crush on an actor the whole time I watched the show. I'm not going to tell you which one, I'll let you guess it. You guys, the cast, incredible. Beautiful actors. They've done their parts in the most professional, gorgeous way. And I feel like maybe because I am very late on Arab TV, but it's actors that I haven't seen before, love the acting. I had to give it a shout out. Last but not least, I need to talk about something that is unquestionably one of the most important things in TV or cinema, and it's music. The choice of music in the show is perfect. I have nothing to say. The choice of music was carefully curated. I loved the music so much that I downloaded it and listened to it on Spotify on my own after the show. There's one specific music that I had full blast on repeat all week. It's called Bekia. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember the artist, but God, it was beautiful. And I feel like I've read after that I watched the show, I've read an article that said that this drama has chosen a lot of rising stars. Apparently, they really did choose artists that were not very famous but had beautiful music. And I was so surprised at the music. I loved it so much. Honestly, bravo. That was a beautiful soundtrack. Okay, to kind of wrap it up for you, what I'm trying to say through all of these things that I loved about this show is that I feel like for once in a while and in a long time, I've come across an Arab TV show that was relatable to me at this age and about maybe a social class that I related to, or maybe an environment that I related to, or relationships that I related to. But in general, I just felt like I watched something that spoke to me and spoke to this new generation. The plot was not predictable. And usually, when I watched a lot of Arab shows, it was so predictable that there was no point of me watching it. This one had so much depth, there was so much character development. And it was surprising in ways, it was emotional in ways, it was heartwarming in ways. And honestly, I'm so happy I came across this and it was recommended to me. I learned a lot from it, to be honest. It gave me perspectives that I haven't before. And the fact that I watched an Arab show because I haven't in a while has really touched me in different ways and made me want to watch more because I was so disconnected from my region for so long. Now I'm so excited to discover other shows and watch their season 2. I feel like there is a whole new world out there that's waiting to be noticed. And I'm so excited to see the future of this industry because I absolutely love everything about cinema, movies, TV, adore it. I would love to hear your thoughts. Honestly, let me know if you've watched this, what you thought, because maybe I'm just, the only one who's super hyped about this show. I'm not so sure. If you guys really love it too, please let me know. Tell me why and give me other recommendations. I'm really in this mood now. I want to watch all the shows. Stay connected. I can't wait to read all your comments and feedback. If you've enjoyed this episode, please rate it, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And come and join me at the after party at NouTalks on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you for hanging out with me again. See you next time. Bye.